hidden food histories, forgotten origins, and shocking culinary truths from around the world. Welcome to Eology_ID. 7 dishes, 7 histories, 1 mind-blowing journey through the world's most shocking food origins. Let's dive in. 1. Fried chicken. First, the crispy legend with a dark past. Have you ever bitten into fried chicken and suddenly felt there's something heavier than just flavor? Fried chicken, today's comfort food, was born in the most uncomfortable place imaginable. Hundreds of years ago, enslaved African women in America were forbidden from owning anything, except one thing no one could take away: their ancestral knowledge of cooking. Late at night, when guards were asleep, they secretly mixed the spices they had saved: black pepper, paprika, salt, flour, frying it all in whatever oil they could find. From those tiny, hidden fires came the first fried chicken, not for feasts, not for royalty, but as a symbol of silent rebellion. But when the dish gained popularity, many white cooks claimed it as theirs. The names of those women vanished from history. What most people don't know is this: modern secret fried chicken recipes, even the global famous ones, still use the same techniques those enslaved women created, back when they weren't even considered human. So next time you bite into that crispy golden skin, ask yourself, is this just delicious food, or history finally trying to speak again? Because that question. 2. Ramen. Next, travel east. A humble bowl that survived bans, war, and reinvention. Imagine a bowl of noodles born from hunger, survival, and a history that almost disappeared forever. Yes, ramen, the dish you casually enjoy today, was once the symbol of desperation in post-war Japan, when people were starving, when kitchens were empty, when the government banned street food. Ramen emerged as a quiet rebellion. Wheat imported from America, broth made from whatever scraps could be found, and vendors cooking while running from the police because selling noodles was considered illegal. Exhausted bodies, ruined cities, empty stomachs, and yet the smell of hot broth meant one thing: life could still go on. Every bowl back then wasn't about flavor, it was about survival. Every slurp was a prayer. But here's what almost no one knows: the ramen you call simple comfort food was once seen as a political threat. Yes, a bowl of noodles, powerful enough to shake the stability of a nation. And ironically, a dish born from fear is now the comfort of millions around the world. Now imagine a bowl of noodles born from hunger, survival. 3. The burger. Now brace yourself for the story behind the world's most iconic comfort food. Have you ever bitten into a burger and suddenly wondered, who was the genius who first put hot meat between the pieces of bread? The truth is way wilder than you think. It begins in the 13th century. Mongol warriors placed minced meat under their saddles, pressed flat during long rides, making it soft enough to eat quickly. That was the ancestor of ground meat. Jump to the 19th century. German immigrants brought Hamburg steak to America, but factory workers needed food fast, something they could eat without stopping. Then a street vendor had an idea. Just put it between 2 pieces of bread, and the burger was born not from culinary elegance, but from pressure, survival, and the speed of modern life. The irony? A food once mocked as dirty street food is now a billion-dollar global icon. So next time you bite into a burger, ask yourself again, who was the genius who first put hot meat between 2 pieces of bread? 4. Fried rice. From scraps to supremacy, this next dish conquered the world by accident. Do you know what's more precious than gold or diamonds? A bowl of leftover rice. Centuries ago, in a tiny kitchen in China, a mother stood before her old stove. No money, no fresh rice, just leftovers and love. She lit the fire, poured a drop of oil, tossed in garlic, egg, and scraps of meat, and from nothing, she created everything. The sound of sizzling rice became the heartbeat of survival. That simple act gave birth to the dish that conquered the world. From street stalls in Jakarta to 5-star hotels in Paris, every grain tells a story of struggle. Every bite, a memory of care. Fried rice wasn't born from luxury, but from fear of hunger. And maybe tonight, when you reheat your leftovers, you're not just cooking, you're continuing history. Because from what's left, legends are born. Do you know what's more precious than gold or diamonds? 5. Soup. The first soup in history. Imagine this. 10,000 years ago, the world frozen, the wind cuts like knives, humans starving, desperate, one spark away from extinction. But that night, under a flicker of firelight, someone did something that changed everything. He took bones from a hunt, dropped them into boiling water, not for art, not for pleasure, for survival. The air filled with the smell of smoke and fat. Steam rose like breath from the earth itself. And when he tasted that first spoonful, the world shifted. For the first time ever, humans didn't just eat to live, they lived to taste. What they didn't know is that in that moment, they created more than food. They created connection. Fire became home, soup became language, and taste became the first sign of civilization. Not swords, not fire, but a bowl of soup that united humankind. And now, thousands of years later, we still gather at the same table, chasing the same warmth from a bowl of soup that never stopped boiling. 6. The first bread.
Do you know what happens when someone forgets to clean their kitchen? Sometimes, history begins with a simple mistake. Egypt, 6,000 years ago. A brewer leaves a mix of flour and water in a corner, forgotten. Days pass. The desert wind slips in through the cracks, and the dough comes alive. It swells, it breathes, it moves. He panics, but curiosity wins over fear. He bakes it, and as the warm scent fills the air, the world changes forever. The first bread wasn't created by design, but by accident. From that forgotten dough came the foundation of civilizations. From one careless night, 1,000 cultures were born. And to this day, every bite of bread carries the scent of that forgotten mix. Beat, 1 second pause. So tell me, would you dare leave your kitchen overnight?
7. Spaghetti. And finally uncover the shocking truth behind the world's most misunderstood pasta.
Imagine sitting in an Italian restaurant. The aroma of tomato sauce fills the air. The waiter smiles, authentic Italian spaghetti, signor. But wait, was spaghetti really born in Italy? In the 13th century, the explorer Marco Polo returned from China. In his journals, he wrote about long strands of wheat dough, flexible, long-lasting, magical. He brought the idea home, and the world of food changed forever. But here's the twist. Historians found evidence that Sicilians were already making pasta centuries before Marco Polo was even born? So who truly created spaghetti? Italy? China? Or was it the love story between two civilizations, forever twirled together in one single dish?
Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts, questions, or tell me which food history you want next. I read every comment, so let's talk in the comments.